you can tell Vice President Biden that I know we're still buddies. We'll always be buddies. The Vice President said yesterday that we don't always agree. Well, that's true. But we definitely agree that Israel has no greater friend and ally than the United States, and that the United States has no greater friend and ally than the State of Israel. I deeply appreciate the unique and special friendship between Israel and the United States of America, as well as the great friendship between Israel and the state of Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, it's important to have friends like the United States and Canada, because it's important for any country to have such alliances, but especially for a country like Israel that faces many challenges, unlike any other nation on earth. But none of these challenges is more important than the threat posed by Iran's nuclear ambitions. Our goal must not be merely to prevent Iran from developing nuclear weapons today. We must also prevent Iran from developing nuclear weapons tomorrow. Iran is openly committed to Israel's destruction, and even as Iran negotiates a nuclear deal with the leading powers in the international community, its supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, brazenly calls for Israel's annihilation. These are not my words. These are his words. Israel's annihilation. He just did it again 3 days ago on his Twitter account. And that's apparently the Iranian regime's idea of modernity, tweeting about the annihilation of Israel. The regime in Iran's wild rhetoric is also backed by murderous action. Iran arms, trains, finances the Palestinian terrorist groups Hamas and Islamic Jihad. It has supplied them and its main terrorist proxy, Hezbollah, with tens of thousands of rockets to fire on Israeli citizens. Iran perpetrates murder and mayhem throughout the Middle East, in Syria, in Iraq, in Libya, rather in Lebanon, in Gaza, in Yemen, and elsewhere. It spread a reign of terror across 5 continents, from Bangkok to Burgas, and even an attempt in Washington, D.C. Ladies and gentlemen, as we work to prevent the ultimate danger of a nuclear-armed Iran, we must also act forcefully to confront Palestinian terrorism and incitement. In recent weeks, we've seen a dramatic rise in terrorist attacks against Jews across the country, including here in Jerusalem. These attacks have been accompanied by a systemic campaign of incitement, including libels about Israel trying to change the status quo on the Temple Mount, and even wild allegations that we are planning to destroy Muslim holy sites. These are false accusations. They're absolute fabrications. Israel is fully committed to the status quo. Last week, I spoke to King Abdullah of Jordan, and I reiterated Israel's commitment to maintain the religious status quo on the Temple Mount. I will continue to make calm to restore quiet and security so that all may enjoy the religious freedom guaranteed by Israeli law. This incitement to violence is coupled with revisionist history intended to delegitimize the Jewish people and the Jewish state. The official Facebook page of Fatah, just to turn it on, you'll see it. You have to Google this to believe this. The official Facebook page of Fatah denies that the Jewish people have any connection to the Temple Mount, or that there was ever a Temple Mount at all, a temple on the Temple Mount. Jerusalem, the ancient city of David, like the land of Israel, is simply erased by the Palestinians from their history books. Unfortunately, the international community does not hold the Palestinians responsible for this sort of incitement and denial of history. And I think that's tragic, because these distortions and this incitement are so corrosive to the effort to reach a genuine peace. Rather than help advance peace, many in the international community are setting back the cause of peace by convincing Palestinians that they can have a state without making peace with Israel. Recognizing a Palestinian state without demanding an end to the Palestinian Authority's pact with Hamas, an internationally recognized terrorist organization, is absurd. Recognizing a Palestinian nation state without demanding that the Palestinians recognize the nation state of the Jewish people is unjust. Recognizing a Palestinian state without demanding an end to incitement in official Palestinian media and schools is reckless. And recognizing a Palestinian state without demanding robust security arrangements to enable Israel to protect itself and the peace, that is dangerous. If the issue of Palestinian statehood is brought before the UN Security Council outside the context of a peace agreement with Israel, this should be flatly rejected. If any one-sided anti-Israel resolution is brought before that council, it should be vigorously opposed. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict will not be solved by exploiting the automatic anti-Israel majorities in the UN bodies. You can pass anything there. But that is not the way to achieve peace. The only way to achieve peace is through direct negotiations that address all the core issues. Israel is ready for these negotiations. Israel is ready for peace. I am ready for peace. But it must be a genuine peace, a durable peace. And for that, we must have a Palestinian partner who's committed to forging such a genuine peace. A partner who is prepared to confront terrorism and end incitement. A partner who is prepared to recognize the nation state of the Jewish people. A partner who is prepared to address Israel's legitimate security concerns seriously. A partner who wants a Palestinian state not to continue the conflict with Israel, but to end it once and for all. Ladies and gentlemen, there are many countries in the region today who do want to put the conflict behind us. I think that offers hope. There are leading Sunni Arab states that are reevaluating their traditional hostility towards Israel. They increasingly understand that the real threat to them doesn't come from Israel. It comes from militant Sunni radicals like ISIS and from a nuclear-armed Iran. And I believe that cooperation with these states that are more ready to work for peace and for security with Israel than ever before, I believe that cooperation with them can help open the door to peace with the Palestinians. And I believe this is possible. But for that, we need the international community to stand by Israel, to demand from the Palestinians to stop incitement, and to demand from them to go for peace. My friends, for 66 years, the Jewish communities of North America have been dedicated partners in building the State of Israel. You've helped us transform Israel into a global technological powerhouse, a wonder of medicine and science and innovation, a vibrant and dynamic democracy. You've stood by Israel's side as we forge historic peace agreements with Egypt and Jordan, and as we work to advance peace with the Palestinians. And just as you've stood with Israel, Israel stands with you in confronting anti-Semitism, in strengthening Jewish identity, in working to ensure that the next generation of Jews remains just as committed to our remarkable partnership, and in ensuring that all Jews around the world know that they will always have a home in Israel. We are one people, we share one history, and we have one destiny. Thank you all. Thank you for standing by Israel. And goodbye from Jerusalem.